Hey y'all, it's your girl Dee Dee, and I know it's been a while, but I'm back with another video. And this one is all about the shirt. Cruising through life, one port at a time. So this video is going to be a tell-all about our cruise, vacation, our 1 week with Royal Caribbean cruise. And I'm getting keen to hop in on this video because I need you guys to hear both perspectives. So we're currently still in Miami. It's the hotel room. And we're gonna tell you what went down, what transpired, how it was, what our experiences were like. So I want you to come along, join us and listen, I guess. Oh, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. I forgot about this because I haven't done it in a while. As we tell you all the tea. Honestly, at this point, I wish I had a mug because let me tell you, while we had a time, we had an experience. And maybe we should have been more prepared. But so we're going to take it one day at a time. It was a 7-day cruise. We're going to talk to you about day 1 to day 7, or 7 night, 8 days cruise. Good child. So come along for the ride, or for the cruise, I guess. Anywho. Okay, so Akeem is here, and we're going to start at day 1. So let's tell the people what happened day 1 of our cruising experience. Start it off.
Day 1, we got on board, of course.
Hello.
And we got on board around 11 or so.
Maybe like 12.
And by that time, we still had to wait before going to our room because the room wasn't ready until 1 o'clock. So the first thing that I'll do better the next time,
okay,
is just check all the bags once we get to the terminal. So we took an Uber from
the hotel we were at
to the terminal. Yes, and then
to the
port, sorry. And then we checked our 2
larger bags,
the
suitcases,
and decided to take the carry-on with us.
Yes.
But if we had known that our rooms would have been ready at 1 o'clock and not the time that we board, we would have, or at least I would have just said, let's leave all the bags, because once you get on the ship,
you're gonna say the boat.
Yeah, everything just hits you, and
it's excitement,
the excitement, the adrenaline.
There are a lot of people.
There's a lot of people. There's so many things going on. So for me, it was a lot having to tour the ship, and then again, the workers want you to see everything because they want you to pay to do everything, right? So like when we got there, there was a lady who was a part of the because they have a, what do you call it? They have a the spa there. Okay. So they took us on a tour, and it's a 2-level spa. So we started on the first floor, went down 1 level, and have to take your carry-on.
You skipped the part. So when we got on the ship as well, you have to find your emergency, like in case of an emergency.
Oh yes,
section. So like a part
muster,
where you go,
your muster,
whatever
station.
It's called. And then, but like, as much as people tell you where to go, they don't give you enough details, because all they said was go up 1 level and then go towards the spa. So you're going in the spa and you're like, where the hell do we go? But you actually have to walk all the way through the spa to get to the section where the gym is.
To the gym.
Yeah. And that's where the people are who will check you in, because the ship can't leave the port unless we all check in to say we've done that safety portion.
And it's just a legal thing.
Yeah.
So they have to do it. And also, even though we may not have gotten the proper directions, or we did get proper directions, just that we didn't know where to go exactly, because once you got to the end of the ship where you said to go, it was like, okay, what next? not knowing we had to go through a section to get to another section.
Yeah,
However, I think if we had looked at our app from that time and looked at the map, because there's a map
there's
that
a map in
also
the app.
tells you where
Oh.
to go.
That's the best thing.
Mhm.
I think the cruise had an app, and I'm sure other cruise lines might have the app as well. But this Little Royal Caribbean app here,
It has
everything.
So
It had
has your map.
everyday schedule, all the
Yeah.
activities.
And even the schedule section, you can check off things that you want or schedule.
Yeah,
Things that
put
you
things in your
want,
own
And
calendar.
it goes into your own cruise calendar. And it comes up as notifications on your phone as to, hey, you have this come up in 30 minutes or 15 minutes.
Yeah,
So that was really neat. But yeah, just the whole idea of having to travel with
the little carry-on.
her bag, the carry-on, or if you had a coat in her hand, I think we did.
No, cause the rain jacket was in the bag.
Okay.
It was your backpack, my purse, and then the suitcase, the
suitcase.
little carry-on.
But yeah, it was just, it would have been nice if I could have.
If
put
our
that
hands were
down.
free.
No, exactly. So that was the first thing for me. So after we found the muster station, after we went on the tour of the spa and looked at other things, like it was just a wow when we first walked on the ship, seeing stores and
Yeah, like everything
seeing
is on
Coach
a
and
cruise ship.
Kate Spade and
Louis Vuitton and the watch. What's the watch?
Rolex.
What's the watch brand? That's the one.
You know, they had smaller brands, but like there was a lot of big name companies on the ship.
Yeah, and like there were 3 jewelry stores, 2 or 3 jewelry stores. And then obviously food galore. Yeah. And then there's food that you pay for and food that's complimentary. And then also first day. So we went on again, it's our first time on a cruise, and we're like, okay, wow, I'm parched, like I'm thirsty. And Keem loves water. I love water too, but like I also like some juice, sometimes some pop, or for y'all Americans, some soda. And I just could not believe that there was a drink package deal or price for everything. I should have had the cup. I'm gonna get the cup, or maybe I'll get Keem to.
So like, prior to going on the cruise, you know, I've talked to other people who've been on cruises,
chatting up us,
and you know, they would give me little pointers. So I was aware that there was a drink package, but I didn't know the drink package cost so much. And again,
I think you also thought the drink package
was for alcohol,
for liquor,
right?
Yeah.
But there's a drink package for alcohol,
for soda,
and there's a drink package for pop or soda, right? So for the week, like the drink package for alcohol was like $600 for one person.
Yeah,
$600 for one person.
Per cup. Everybody gets their own cup.
And then the cup one was like one something, which is
no, you mean the pop.
The pop.
Yeah, was 100 and like 153.
Yeah.
And then remember, we're Canadian, so all of this is in American dollars.
That's a lot of money still. And I got annoyed because later on in the cruise, we discovered a gift shop.
Ciao, we realized they had a souvenir shop.
They sold cups, not the same one, but different cups that we could have gotten. We ended up didn't getting one, but I was just saying to.
We ended up didn't get what?
We ended up getting a cup.
Oh yes, we ended up getting.
But I was just saying that we could have bought the cup and then go to the soda machine to get the soda. But then I discovered that we couldn't, because
all of these but thens.
Because the soda machine, and this is a Coca-Cola machine, like the one that you find at McDonald's, and you can or whatever fast food place.
Yeah, but you can select the different drink options.
Or Fanta, and it has like 5 different flavors of Sprite.
Yeah,
that's what it was. But the thing had a sensor. So you couldn't just put any regular cup there and get pop.
Yeah,
it had to be the cup that you bought.
It would say
with the package.
It would say an error message saying like, this is not the cup.
Yeah. So even though I was thinking to general the system and just like buy a
scammer,
buy a cheaper cup and then go to the pop machine, you couldn't do that. You couldn't. So you had to buy.
You had to have the right
package cup to get the pop.
Yeah.
Granted, I think on the trip, probably twice or 3 times you had pop.
I think Keem is basically trying to say maybe we could have gone without the cup.
We could have,
but I wanted a souvenir. And again, this is before I knew there was an entire souvenir shop on the ship, which is where we got our shirts from.
Yes.
Anyways, so this is good. Yes.
So yeah, so
And
for
mind
me,
you, sorry, this is all still day one.
yeah, so for me, the afterthought is, was it worth it? For me, no.
Child, I'd do it again.
Because we could have gone to the souvenir shop, got a cup for like 30-40 bucks, which is still a lot, but in comparison to 150, it's cheaper, right? Because they had water, they had juice available that you could have you could drink with other cups. You didn't have to use the same cup. So yeah, so that's day one. Number two is the drink package. Number three.
So are we going to my part?
Go to number three.
Actually, no, before we go to number three. So we are on our way. So this is 2.5. So that was the drink package. Now let's talk about food. So we're on our way to where we could get the buffet style of food, right? So we're headed up to the 16th deck or floor. Yes, the 16th floor, 16th deck. And we're going to get food. And then like the waves start rocking, right? Because by this time we've left the porch and they were at the pool part, they were doing a party and we had danced a little. I was like, ooh.
But we didn't feel the rocking.
No, not yet, not yet. Not when we left. That's what I'm saying. Like we danced, blah blah blah.
It was a nice start.
Yeah, like we were amped and we're like, yeah, we went and we got food. And as we were getting food, I started to feel a little weight because this ship was rocking a little too hard for my liking. And when I tell you like rocking hard, I'm not saying like, ooh, it was like this. I'm talking, we're walking down the hall. Can you tell your experience?
Walking in the hall, and all of a sudden I go like this, zoop,
and he's like falling on me,
falling on
like,
her, falling on the wall.
Ship is literally,
and then I'll be this way trying to gather myself, and then I go, whoop.
That is literally us. There are people who are walking down or like who are coming from this hall that turns into this one, and they're trying to turn and they miss the entire turn and end up in the wall because of just how the ship was rocking.
Or like the moment where we were in the room, and I think I should have opened the suitcase or what was I was doing something, but I was standing up, and the thing went zoop, and I was with the thing in my hand,
keel over.
And I'm like, ooh, right on the bed.
Keel over, and I was like, "Are you okay?"
I just dropped. Yeah.
Is everything okay?
The first couple of hours. So I was the first hour or two.
It started at, so we left at 4 p.m. By like 6:37, because by 7:42 I was in the bed. 7:42 p.m. I had to send Keem to first aid. I said, Keem, please send for help. I cannot manage. I cannot do it. I was like, go to first aid sickness right now. Like he was feeling the rocking, but for him,
was good.
He was like a kid. He was like, ooh. And I was like,
well, yeah, the motion.
I can't manage.
The motion sickness was real for her, so I had to go down to get to first aid, to get some motion sickness tablets, and there was a lot of people just
because everybody was feeling it.
Concord. But in talking to people while I was in line, they're like, a guy, he was saying it's his 7th time or 7th year or whatever cruising, and he has never felt this. So
yeah, a lot of people were like, this was their first time having such a bad experience.
But around 12 o'clock or so, or 1?
Yeah, 12:30, it settled down. Yeah, the captain did come on and he's like, guys, I just want to apologize. I know a lot of you guys are first time cruisers, and this must be a rough experience for you, but we'll come out of it by midnight. But yeah, by that time I was out, because once I got those tablets, trust and believe, side effects include drowsiness, tiredness. Like I conk out. I couldn't manage. The next day I was like, I need the pill now before like anything. So it's 12-hour intervals, like clockwork, because I said I don't trust this ship. Actually, I trusted the ship. I don't trust these waves. Like these waves can act a fool at any moment and try to take me out again. No.
Yeah, so that was that.
enter into
Also,
day two?
no, we can't enter day 2 yet
Oh, what else?
because after we did the tour and we were still waiting to get to our room, we said to ourselves, we need Wi-Fi.
Oh
And,
my goodness.
We opened up
I
the
forgot about
Wi-Fi
this.
section on our phones
I forgot about this.
and we saw a signal, but everything was locked. And we're like, what's the password? Come to
Because-
find out, we go to the section for Wi-Fi because there's a whole booth for internet. We gotta pay for Wi-Fi for the week per person.
Per device. It's
Per
not
de-
per
okay, per
person, it's
device.
Per device.
And I was like, what the hell?
So let me tell you a little bit about our dynamic. So Keem is more of the type of person that will be like, absolutely not. Like certain times I'll say absolutely not when it comes to like spending money, but 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna be like, I can figure it out. Like we're gonna do this because it's just practical. So Keem was like, oh, just get the one device and then we'll just switch back and forth. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense because sometimes my parents and my people back home or whoever I might need to communicate with will want to message me. And then you're telling me I'm gonna have to conk out my conversation, like mid-conversation, and be like, I'll check back in with you like after 12 hours. So he could use the thing. So I said, we're getting 2 devices. I'm not getting 3. I had my laptop, but I was like, there's no way I'm putting my laptop on because I'm not going to be using my laptop like that. So we got the 2 devices, and according to the people, we gave you a deal. It was just shy of $300
for the week. For the 2 devices.
For the 2 devices. Now you decide where that falls on your spending scale, if you would or if you wouldn't. But the Royal Caribbean app works without paying for the full Wi-Fi stuff. So like you'd be able to use the app the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So
and then again, I think it's also because we're Canadian, because I think some Americans were able to sorry, not the Wi-Fi part. I'm talking about the roaming aspect. But some Americans they weren't on Wi-Fi like that because they could just regular text.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
also in day 1.
Some extra costs
then,
that we didn't expect.
So then by day 1, between the Wi-Fi at nearly $300 and the cup at $152 or 50 something dollars, we're at $450 something that we didn't anticipate.
Yes.
Because you go on vacation, you expect to spend some money, but you didn't expect to spend it from the jump. You try and preserve. You say, when I get to this store, when I get to this country, when I see the souvenir I want, not like, boops, I'm on the ship, give me your money. Oh, and the other thing with money, they don't take like cash and debit and credit right there and then. You have a C-Pass. Everybody, once you board, you get a C-Pass. Your C-Pass has your name, your room information, blah, 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 blah. And every time you want to purchase something, it goes to that C-Pass. Yeah. Because they don't want you to think about the money. They don't want you to think about the spending that you're doing. They don't want you to see your cash physically decrease. Yeah. They don't want you to check your credit card while you're on the ship and you say, dang, I'm close to my limit. No. They say, don't worry, it's going on your C-Pass.
Yeah, so your C-Pass.
You pay it off at the end of the trip.
So you could be tapping all week and don't know what you're buying. You're just tapping, having a good time. And at the end of the day, when you go to check out, and the week you go to check out, you'll realize your bill is like $5,000. Because you're just tapping all week. Or if your credit card is on file, you don't want to change it, then they just charge your credit card on file.
Yeah.
Right.
Which a lot of people do.
So be mindful of that when you're going on a cruise. Keep track of your own spending.
If you just don't care, then just be that person that don't care.
Just talk.
Just have fun.
Yeah. So that was day 1. Day 2. Day 2. We started to get into the groove of things.
Day 2 is when we got to Bahamas.
Coco Cay. It was nice.
It was nice.
It was hot, and then it rained, and then it was hot again.
Like it spat. There was spitting. It wasn't like thunderstorm.
We spent most of our time in the pool.
Yeah, the pool was cool at first. The ocean or body of water, whatever we were next to, was cold. Because we went in that. But that was the day we were supposed to do an excursion. Well, we were supposed to do two. We are supposed to do the jet skiing, but we couldn't get to do the jet skiing because the driver passenger ticket set thing was all messed up. So we got refunded on that. But that got refunded to what? Our damn CPAS, not even to directly to our card. But then we got to swim with the pigs because somebody somewhere on the internet said swimming with the pigs will be amazing. They said it would be fun. They said you'll have the best time of your life. It will look good in pictures. I promise you, this is like a jump ahead. I have not downloaded the pictures that those people have taken because y'all know my quality for photos. What they tried to do? I didn't pay for it. I didn't pay for those pictures. But let's talk about your pig experience because I surely dragged him. I surely dragged him to the pig experience.
So the boat ride, because we had to go to a different
a different part of the island. We had to go to Treasure Island. Treasure Island.
So it's like a 3-minute boat ride.
Maybe less.
Or 5 minutes, whatever it was. A little boat ride across to the island.
And that's where we met our friends. We met our little couple friends from New York.
Yeah, we met a couple friends and then we got to the place and we saw the pigs and the man said
Wait, part? At the beginning, like before we got to the water?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
The man said, pigs don't actually swim, but we have apples that we're gonna, throw into the water and lower them into the water, and you'll take pictures with them. He said, give little rules. Don't do this, don't do that, blah, blah, blah.
Don't put your hand near this now, or then
then he opened up the gate and we walked.
Oh, and we couldn't bring our own phones because they said they will take the picture. That's how they did on me. So and this is why I didn't pay for the pictures.
We walked on to the place and we walked. And we touched the first pig. The pig was rough.
I said,
hard.
Is this how rough pigs are? Like they're trashy. Like you know what? When people describe things as trashy, like just rough and tough and just.
For all those who eat the swine, is it that rough? Tell me, please, because child.
Unbelievable.
It's rough. Anyhow,
I'm sure they don't eat the hairs. I'd like to hope.
So we got into the water and the pig started coming in the water with us.
And then 5 steps in. So let me give you guys a little backstory.
Boy,
Deandra is a germaphobe. Deandra doesn't like certain things. Deandra, as her friends classify her, is high maintenance. And we claiming it. And we'll tell you why probably in another video because but I stepped into the water. So I'll post a picture on Instagram so you can see what I was wearing. But I was wearing my cover up over my bikini and it's pants because I'm like, you never know. And I also heard someone say like, oh, the pigs like may rub up themselves on you or like push their snots on you. And I was like, I don't want them in direct contact with my skin because my skin is sensitive. Last year, I went to go swim with the dolphins, and that dolphin gave me a chops, and I got a bump on my face. So I said, I'm gonna cover up my body. So like from the waist down, I'll be good. We took about 5 steps in, and I'm holding Keem's hand because I'm like, oh, the piggy. And I'm looking off into the distance, and then all I hear is Keem say, oh, the pig is pissing in the water. And I said, is this real life? And then when I looked at Miss Piggy pissing in the water, Miss Piggy began to doo-doo.
It sure did, in the water. And the man said, no, it's okay, it happens. The apples have a lot of fiber.
So it just runs through them.
I said, I'm getting out the water.
And he has the nerve to go get one of those nets, like what of those, whatever, like
they used to clean your pools with.
Yeah, with all the holes,
things
like the Sims, and he's trying to catch the doo-doo.
And the doo-doo just falling back in the water. And I said, no.
I said, dry land, please. I'm going back on dry land.
We came out the water and then went further down to go back in the water. To take a picture with a little baby piggy that we held in our hand, and then we went back up to the other side of the beach and we met. What's her name again?
Oh gosh.
Was it Melissa? Susan? No.
Melissa sounds like it is.
It was an M name, I'm pretty sure. But child, the pig
Michelle
weighs 300 pounds.
weighs 300 and something pounds. And the people
300
had
pounds.
the nerve to say, just hold the front, what they call for pigs?
We don't know.
Limbs. I'm gonna say limbs.
We don't know what
It's
they
not
call
like dogs have paws, whatever. Hold the front somethings of the
legs,
pigs.
hold the legs.
And then like the pig will smile with you.
The pig was heavy. I had to hold the pig. The pig was heavy.
I can't manage the pig. Then some other girl was like, "Oh, it's okay. It's not as heavy as you think." And I said,
No, it was
300 pounds is heavy. It's as heavy as I think.
And
so
we're
no,
in water, so it's a bit lighter.
But still heavy. So yeah, Michelle was also rude. Michelle was also the bully of all the pigs. She didn't want any other pig to be around any other human. Michelle was just like all up and through the place. But yeah, like I would say the experience as a whole, probably a 3 out of 10.
It was.
And again, that's just our experience. And then our friends that we met from New York, bless their heart, they went to the washroom and they found this area where we could wash off. And I said, bless the Lord, because I need to wash off every ounce of whatever was in that water. So I got a little pre-wash off before we went back to the ship. Well, yeah, before we went back to Coco Cay, then go back to the ship to take an everlasting shower, because my goodness.
Yes, so that was
day 2.
Day 2.
I don't think anything else happened.
Nothing else happened really. They have their nightly shows and different activities happening for the night.
Oh yeah.
The food overall, like I'll give the food probably 9 out of 10.
The food was pretty good.
Like,
I've got to say I'm very impressed with their selections. They had a bunch of different nights. So they had casual night, Caribbean night, and a couple formal nights. I went online to check prior to packing our bags, and I really wish, because they said sometimes they do all whites and all blacks and blah, blah, blah. So I packed those for us as well. And I wish they had done it one of those nights. But the Caribbean night, when I tell you, these people decided to make some jerk chicken and some plantain and some rice and peas,
and they made festival. They made cocoa bread.
They made beef patty.
Pula. They made pepper pot soup with salt beef in it. Oh my gosh.
First thing I said was, "Oh, so Caribbean just means Jamaican." Where were you?
Yeah. That's exactly what it was. There was nothing else from any other Caribbean island but Jamaica. But anyways, the food was amazing.
Yeah. I even called over one of the staff and I said, "Are you cook it not?" Because he's Jamaican. Oh, that's the other thing. The cruise is actually very diverse with its staff. Yeah. Like I met people from Jamaica, Indonesia,
Philippines, India,
the different Caribbean lines, Honduras. Yeah, Trinidad, Jamaica, Mexico, like all over the place. And I was like, wow, like this is so cool. India, the photographers, they were from India. But yeah, that was night.
Food was good. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything was good. For me, I'm on the food because I'm kind of love food, but because anytime I go somewhere, especially when we go to resorts, the challenge for me is always breakfast because they always have egg and bacon and things that I don't eat. But for this breakfast,
had a variety.
They had porridge, they had bread, they had pancakes, they had waffle, they had baked beans, hash browns, eggs,
everything.
Eggs, however way you want it.
Scrambled, fried, you can get your own omelet made.
All right,
on a daily basis.
Turkey sausage, fruits, desserts. Like it was just
they had everything. Good.
Granted, there were other restaurants on the ship that were free and others that you also had to pay for. But we only went to the buffet.
Yeah.
So we don't know what the other free restaurants looked like, and we also don't know what the other paid restaurants were, because we didn't want to go and
It
pay
was
for more.
where there were two reasons why. One was based on variety, because like we knew that the buffet would give a lot of variety. And then with a lot of the other spots too, sometimes some of them you needed a reservation. So you'd have to go into the app and reserve, blah, blah, blah. But then because of how we had our days set up as well, some days we were all over the place. And we're fine with it because we're on vacation. So if we don't want to get up until 11, who gonna check me, boo? But you know, so that would throw off when we would have lunch and then when we'd have dinner, which would make it later. But being a part of the buffet area, you could always get food, whatever time. And you didn't have to worry about finding a seat, blah, blah, blah. Day 3, I think that was our at sea day.
At sea.
And can I tell you, Akeem and I decided by the end of the trip, but we knew from that moment, my goodness, Royal Caribbean, like, yes, I'll give you your props, but you need more pools, child, because you can't have almost 7,000 people on your ship and only have 3 pools.
Yeah, and like each pool, like, I think one hold like 70 people.
I mean, that's what it says.
One hold 20, one hold 30.
But the people were just
stacking
like, themselves up in there.
People everywhere.
Yeah.
And like even on what do you call it? Beach chairs?
Yes.
There are poolside chairs, whatever you want to call it. It was so hard to find a vacant chair because people would sit there for days, for hours. Like there's this one person, this one guy, and every day we saw him sit in the same chair, the same location, the same time, every day. And he's there all day. That's all he did. And he would get up from there, walk to the pool, sit down in the pool for a few hours, get out the pool, go back to the chair.
A couple minutes.
But yeah, it was just so for me, that was one of the downsides of it, is that I felt like the pool wasn't big enough to accommodate all the guests. And it was just crowded with people. Yeah. Right.
And then that day was also cool. Yeah. So we did go, we attempted to go in the pool and I was like, it's cold. Actually, you were like, it's cold.
It was cold.
He was like, it's so cold. So we're like, okay. And then that day we also had the oh gosh, the aqua show. That's when we went to the aqua show. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, so we saw the aqua show.
And then after that we went to, oh my gosh, they have karaoke. So they have 2 types of karaoke. They have family karaoke and they have adult only karaoke. And family karaoke obviously happens before adult only karaoke because, you know, putting them to their bed. But adult karaoke, as somebody who is musically inclined, child, I had a time laughing internally. I had to laugh on the inside or like whisper to Keem because, you know, we're all trying to be inclusive and be nice. But some of these people, I knew they didn't know what they were doing. They weren't in the right frame of mind to know what they were doing when they went up there to sing the songs. And that's all about the fun of it. And it was definitely entertaining for me. Like it was phenomenal. It was great.
Yeah. And again, if I were to rate the ship experience, because we had 2 at sea days or 3 at sea days?
3 total.
At sea days. So if I were to rate the whole ship experience, I would say like probably another 9 out of 10. Because again, even though we never did everything on the ship, because
and that's what they told us that. They said there's no way we'd be able to complete everything on the ship in a week cruise. They're like, you gotta come back.
There's
which is true. So there were so many things.
Much to do between nightly shows, day shows, day activities. There's basketball, volleyball, mini golf. There's slides.
There's a flow rider. We went on the slide.
Water slide. There's zip lining. Didn't get a chance to do that. There's bingo.
Take the child zip lining one time, and now anytime you can catch
it. There's bingo. There's people playing chess. There's things for the whirlpools. There's stuff for the. There's just so much things on the ship that you really can't do everything. But again, even on those on-sea days, there was still so much to do. So it just felt like you were at a resort on water. That's exactly what it is.
I think that is what it is.
That's what it is. That's what it is. It was amazing. So overall experience was good. I think the times spent at each of the islands were also Good. We spent about
Yes.
8 hours or so.
But I would have wanted more. I'm actually trying to pull up the
Um,
itinerary.
Day 4 we're at St. Thomas, right?
Sure.
Yeah, day 4 was St. Thomas. It was hot. It was
Oh
hot.
my
It was
goodness.
hot.
It was
hot. It
so
was hot. It was hot.
hot.
Very small island. Like I felt like we drove through the whole
We
island
drove around the whole thing.
in the couple hours we were there.
We did a tour,
We did
panoramic tour where they took us all the way up to the top of
top of the mountain.
and at the top of the mountain we were able to look off
and see the whole of St.
the
Thomas.
whole of it. And then that's
Beautiful.
also how we found out that St. Thomas is known for banana daiquiris.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And they're also very religious.
Mhm.
The two top religious groups under Christianity is Catholics and SDAs. Can you imagine?
Yeah. So
Can you imagine?
St. Thomas was nice. It was nice to see how people live and see the island and
Yeah.
different views and all that stuff. And the driver we had was really good. He gave us a
Very
good
good.
history lesson. Can't remember anything right now, but
What's his name? Eugene?
Uriah, King Uriah. That's how I remember him. But yeah,
You're right.
gave us a good history lesson of the island and the one airport they have and Uriah lives
On a little island
island. So
away,
takes a boat.
just outside of St. Thomas.
Takes a boat to go to his house.
And I
it's the
said,
only
but
house on the
your
island.
house is the only one there. So child.
Yeah.
He's like,
so
yeah.
That was nice. And then after St. Thomas, we went to St.
Kitts.
Shout out to the Blanchetts, Kicharm and
Very nice.
Kenisha.
Okay, specific names.
Kicharm is my batchmate at NCU, so we got to spend time with him and his wife and meet his parents, and they took us around the whole of St. Kitts.
It might as well have been.
We started off with a photo shoot because it was our anniversary that day.
Okay, yes. So it was perfect. So I mean, this cruise was brought to you mostly by Akeem. So I'm talking about like in terms of the locations we went to and everything, because I was like, I'm fine with going anywhere. But because St. Kitts landed on the day of our anniversary for this specific cruise, he was like, it just makes sense because like one of his really good friends is there and he could take us around and kind of like help to make our anniversary that much more special because we know someone in the country that we're gonna be at. So we're like, okay, cool. And I wanted to do a photo shoot because I mean it's our anniversary and it's the ocean. And like the Little Mermaid came out like a couple weeks ago. And like just by the water and the colors, when I tell you my dress, I have had my dress since like the end of 2019, top of 2020. And I've wanted to wear this dress. I just didn't have an occasion to wear the dress. And then Keem's pants was from January of this year. So all I had to do was find a shirt. This was like the most inexpensive photo shoot we've ever done. Like, especially since like you already had your shoes. I got my shoes too. So his shirt, my shoes, probably $40 total, because my shoes were definitely on sale. Yeah, and then the photographers, do you remember the name of them? Because we could shout them out too.
Don't remember.
I'm so sorry. But when you guys send us the pictures, I will let the people know that you guys took the pictures.
So we did a photo shoot.
Yeah. We
did a photo shoot. We got on the island, and then from there we went to have brunch, if you will.
Yes. At this really cool spot.
Yeah, it was on a beach side.
Yeah.
So that was nice. And then after that we went and toured.
But we got coconut water.
We drank our coconut water.
Listen, I feel like if I'm going on vacation to any type of Caribbean place, I need to have coconut water. And I love it. I love it because I can't get it in Canada. Oh, I can, but like it's just not the same. Not the same. Like straight out of the coconut. I don't want the one in the buckle or the box. I want it straight out of the coconut with the jelly. Yeah. So
St. Kitts was nice.
That was
we were
really
there for
good.
8 hours, I think it was.
So yeah, pretty much all day. Yeah.
What then?
Sorry, something just flew on the window.
It's a dragonfly that flew to the window.
Oh my days.
So yeah, that was St. Kitts, and then day 6.
Day 6 and 7 were at sea.
At sea.
Those were the
So
other at sea days.
Um,
But we got into the pool this time, and the weather.
Day 6.
Yeah, the
it was
weather.
hot.
It was so.
My head burned up.
hot.
You can't see it.
My arms
my
are
head-
actually burnt.
Oh, you could see the touch.
Yeah, like
Jeez.
my arms are
But yeah,
burnt.
we spent the whole day in the pool, day 6, and we did the slide
That's why my.
that day.
Okay, so can we talk about the slide?
It was hot.
I did not know the slide was going to be the way it was. Because also I had been preserving my hair in terms of like not going in underwater, whatever, the whole time because the photo shoot, right? So that was my main priority. But now that the photo shoot was done, I was like, okay, I kind of let my hair down, but my hair was still up, going down the slide. So I'm going down the slide, and it's a slide that has the bowl in it. So you got to spin around a little in the middle before you come out. So I'm spinning around, and I said, oh no, because I feel my hair falling down. I'm coming through the last bit of the slide. Also did not expect the water to be as high as it was. So I'm like, I'm consumed now by water that I did not anticipate, because the whole slide down, there wasn't that much water. So now I'm in a flood, and I'm like, where'd you come from? And he's standing out there like, you okay? You okay? And I'm like, help me.
Because she was drowning.
Yeah, for real. Like in this much water. But you know what? You can drown in this much. Okay. So yeah, but it was day 6 was good because we really got to experience the ship and like walk around the ship and go different places. And you know, we went into Central Park, which is like this greenery area on the ship with a bunch of restaurants. We went on deck 5, we went on deck 4. We were really just exploring the place at that point. And then, is there anything else to say about day 6?
No, day 6 was just a day to just have fun on the ship, because we weren't really having. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. We were having fun on the ship. I'm just saying that day 6 was a day that we
was just dedicated
doing activities
because we weren't at a port,
right? Other than just going to shows.
Yes.
Right. I think day 6 also was a time that we watched the skate show.
No.
Was day 7?
Yes, it was day 7.
Day 7.
Day 6. So again, we wanted to do stuff on day 6, but because of how the reservations are set up, so some people reserve spots like as soon as they came on the ship, they were able to reserve, because that's how we got into the aqua show early, because we reserved it as soon as we came on. But a lot of the other shows, like we didn't know about, or we weren't sure if we wanted to do it, or like I didn't want to make a decision, and Kim's like, I don't care for it. So fun fact, if you don't go to the shows during the pre part of the cruise, I guess the earlier part of the cruise, near the latter part, so on the last day, they open all the shows for anybody. So if you didn't reserve a spot earlier in the week, you can come and watch the show at the end, because that's how we went to the comedy show. We went to the skate show, and we went to the silent party. Like we did a lot of stuff, because a lot of our nights were mostly focused on like the karaoke and a lot of the stuff that was happening on the main deck, which was fun. So a lot of the shows and like even the activities, people, they would do dance parties and all that stuff. So we didn't gravitate a lot to the other shows that were taking place. We wanted to be where all the crowd was. So then that last day, that's when we went to all the other stuff, the comedy, the skate, the silent party. And for all of you who may not want to hear this, cover your ears. The ships have a club, right? So the cruise have a club. And I said, well, I want to check out this club. I said, Kim, you come? Kim said, sure. We went in that club and we said, nothing. That's right. We said nothing. We left. I said, what is this? Appalled.
I think
angry.
Because we got there early, because the club closes at what, 3?
It closes at 3.
And the silent party was in the same spot that the club takes place at. And the silent party starts before the club starts.
But the silent party transitioned into the club. But
the silent party was lit. Like there's a lot of people.
Yeah, because you have the headset and you
jamming, and it was nice.
Whatever.
Right. And then once that was done, we left around like 12 o'clock to go get some water, grab a snack, and then go back. And by the time we got back, there was probably 15, 20 people in there.
No, yeah, because by this time too, because it was closer to 1, and 1 o'clock is the curfew for those who are 17 and under.
Mhm.
So they and I guess the 18-year-olds, because a lot of on the ship there were a lot of people who did not come together who became friends, which is cool naturally. So when their friends were leaving the club, they left with them. So by that time, I guess you'd say maybe the 16 to 20-year-olds, they left.
Mhm.
And then it was the older crowd, older, 21 up. And I was like, but the music that's being played doesn't tickle my fancy.
Yeah, it's not
It
our
didn't tickle my
kind of
fancy.
music.
Like it's music I would listen to,
Yeah.
but like not at the club.
Not-
Like
yeah,
play it
not-
on CHFI,
yeah,
play it on my radio station.
But yeah, it was all right. We just left.
Yeah.
I went back to our room. And
And then
what else on the ship?
the last day.
Yeah, the last day.
Oh, wait, sorry. Day 7 as well. So we learned this as well with the cruise. So as it is approaching your last day, they will give you a little card, or it shows up in the app as well. Like, oh, your cruise is coming to an end. Do you need assistance removing your bags from the ship to on the port? So you select yes, blah, blah, blah. And you actually have to get your bags ready by 10 p.m. the night before.
Mhm.
And you leave them outside of your room. And then the people who work on the ship will come and take your bags, put it on whatever so that it comes off. And then you meet it at the numbered station because everybody gets a number. And yeah, that's how you get your bag. And I was like, this is so cool. And then how you get on the ship and get off the ship, I'm saying it at this point because it's for both. It's in a timed sequence. So to get on the ship, we selected a time frame. So we're like, oh, we want to get in between 1 to 1:30, or I think it was 1 to 2. I don't remember if it was a half an hour interval. And then to get off the ship, they give you a time frame, which was 8:30 or 9:30? 8:30 to 9:30. So we were supposed to be off the ship, but it was such a cool experience because I'm realizing how technology has advanced so much. There was even a bar that was being run by a robot on the cruise, right? So the robot was making your drinks. So yeah, it was a great experience. I would do it again, but I just need to ensure that I have the right motion sickness medication, because I want one that doesn't make me drowsy, which we did end up getting on the ship. There was this natural one that you put behind your ear, but I also saw that some people had some like little sticker something
Like
here.
Band-Aid.
Yeah, that I presume helps with motion sickness as well, because your balance and everything is in your ear. So
But overall, I think
we would do it again.
For my first time, I would give my cruising experience a 10 out of 10. I would do it again. I got to see a lot more countries.
That's the sad part. I thought they were gonna stamp my passport at every country, at every port. I'm gonna go back to get my passport stamped.
Yeah, I got to see a lot more countries than I would if we were to do like a resort for a week.
Yeah.
And it also allows us to see the country and see if it's
If we want to go there,
we want to go back to. And I think for the countries we did see, that we would go back, definitely for a vacation. But yeah, it was a good experience. I would recommend it to anyone. What I recommend to anyone going or thinking of going on a cruise, and again, this is for every vacation. You're gonna always obviously have pocket money, but for me, I thought, because again, I'm just thinking about when we go to the resorts that we've gone to, where we pay our passage or pay for the resort, and that takes care of everything, right? There's no additional cost unless we're gonna buy souvenirs.
There's no additional cost for drinks or internet or anything,
right? So I would say to those thinking of going, outside of your airfare, outside of your cost for your ticket to get onto the ship, to budget for those additional things like internet, your drink package, maybe a little extra money for restaurants, because there may be a restaurant you want to try out. Like there was an Italian restaurant that probably I know my wife would have loved because she's a pasta lady. But we just weren't into that, spend that extra money, right? So budget for that.
Yeah, and that's mostly because, or I would say part of my reasoning is because we were still gonna stay an extra week in Miami, where we're doing so much stuff, and I already the excursions I had pre-booked, so the excursions and like all the hotels and all that stuff, those things were prepaid. But because I knew the overall budget we wanted to spend for the 2 weeks, I didn't want to exceed that. So for us, they were, I guess, surprises, which is why even when Akeem mentioned the internet, he was like, nah, let's just use one device. Whereas I was like, no, it's okay. Like we can use the both devices because we are going to use both of our devices anyways, and just go through it that way. There was something I was going to say. No,
and I would also say that in the first 2 days of your cruise, even if you do it for the first day, like once you get on and settle in, to go through your app if your cruise ship has one, and look at the different activities taking place, look at your itinerary or what's happening each day, and schedule things early. Plan out your outfits. So like so you know what night is casual night, what night is formal or whatever.
And can I tell you, these people get real formal with their formals.
Formal. Like people had on full tuxedo
and full gowns. But as I said to Kim, I feel like for a lot of these people too, it's their annual. This is their one time, all of the families probably together, and they're taking a picture because maybe the kids are away at school or they don't come home for Christmas or they have adult kids, and because there were a lot of graduation trips and birthdays and it's like 30 plus year anniversaries. Yeah. So I feel like that's why they came, because I was like, Kim, I'm not wearing a gown. Like, are you kidding me?
But most of the people that were in gowns and dressed up like that, were I find were more senior people.
Yeah, they were older. They were definitely 55 plus.
Yeah. So, but yeah, again, I'll recommend it to
Great
anyone.
Great experience. If you have motion sickness in the car, you're gonna have motion sickness on the ship. So get yourself some motion sickness, something.
This was our first ship, and I think
you want to go.
Royalton has a new ship coming out. So
the Royalton, the hotel, they have a ship coming out.
The Royal Caribbean.
Thank you.
Sorry, has a new ship coming out called the
Icon of the Seas.
Of the Seas. So I want to experience
2024.
Sometime soon, and I also want to experience Carnival.
But we wanna cruise again. Yeah, let me tell you something. I love traveling with Akeem. I'm very adventurous, and I love the fact that he's willing to come and do the stuff with me. I'm like, hey, I want to try this place, and he's like, let's go. I want to do this, and he's like, let's go. So I love that about him. But I want to be able to travel with more people. Like, we've been doing this thing now for what, 4 years?
4 years?
When did we go to DR? DR we went in 2019.
Oh, because
4 years.
COVID, that's why.
So we've been doing this for 4 years, and it's been fun. Like, don't get it twisted.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm not even wearing my thing. We have wristbands, and we'll get into that in another video. But this is my travel buddy. Like, this is my travel partner.
I'm living life. You got one life to live. I'm enjoying it, and don't regret it. So I think our next one,
it'd be nice to have like a friend or two.
We also learned that the best of the cruise is in the fall. Okay, so this true.
I'm joking. That's just TMI. So you're getting all the information. Because it's cheaper. Because that's when the people them go back to school and most people go back to work. So us going on the cruise right now, I actually looked at Kim and I said, wow, like maybe we did get married at the wrong time, because we're at the top of summer, which means that school is always out. People are always coming off of work and everything. So those vacation prices are a lot higher than if we got married in the middle of September, October, like in the middle of the school year.
So yeah, I think our next cruise will be in September. So we'll let you know how that goes.
So we'll be celebrating the anniversary of when we started dating instead of when we got married.
Yeah. And yeah, probably next year or year after, who knows? we'll see what happens. But definitely looking forward to the next one.
Yay! So that was our cruising experience. I hope it all makes sense because we did talk a lot. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to send us a DM or comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I know it's been a minute, but I'm glad that I'm back to tell you guys about our cruising experience and share some stuff that I'm not sure a lot of people would have been willing to say. Because yes, as Keem mentioned, he did talk to a couple people and ask them about their cruising experience. But no one really got into this much detail. I don't think. At least I didn't hear like the ins and outs of like these are the prices. I'm talking about like people who have been recently, you know. So it's not like, oh, we went 5 years ago and we don't know what's happened since. But yeah, we'll check in a couple videos later and we'll update you on life and such. And hopefully we have good news to share.
See ya.
Be safe. Make good choices. Bye.
Bye.